Hello and welcome Slashers, Crypt here, and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, isn't this cool? Look at this. Just take a nice little look at it. This right here is my Art the Clown clay statue. I'm trying to get to stay focused on it, but yeah, it's really neat, huh? There's this guy named the Clay Guy, I think that's his name, but he makes these as well as Charles Lee Ray's. I really want to get Charles Lee Ray. He also does like Chrome Skull and Victor Crowley, but yeah, as you can see, detaches from his stand. I overall really love him. So if you want like an Art the Clown or just in general, just a clay statue made by this guy, I'll leave a link down screen below. He makes really good stuff. But if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go put this back. So, long time no see, guys. Let's talk some Terrifier. I want to first thank you guys so much for overall supporting my teaser trailer breakdown I made for the Terrifier 2 teaser. That video, at the moment, it has a little over 10K right now. It did really good. And I want to just take the time to thank you guys for overall just supporting it and watching that video. But I just wanted to voice my thanks for you guys. And there's actually some theories that some of you guys commented on that video. So I'm going to bring up some of those things near the end too. So keep a lookout. But there's a lot to talk about. I'm sorry I've been out of the loop talking about Terrifier for a long time. And I regret that. But we're here now, and I'm here to give you guys a juicy update. And some extra that I want to bring up in this video, since this is after all older footage that I'm just now getting to uploading a month later. The first thing I want to talk about is this prosthetic hand, and it looks like it's supposed to be severed or something. I'm not sure, but it looks pretty neat, and I cannot wait to see what kill this hand is connected to. And then also, I think that this picture of Art the Clown right next to this carousel is badass. There's another picture that's kind of like it, but it's with Sienna, aka Lauren the Vera. These pictures just show how much of a bigger budget this film has compared to the first, because like, look where they're shooting at. Like, this is cool. There's also some new news on the status of the filming of Terrifier 2. They have a few scenes left and a couple more days of shooting, so the film will be wrapping very soon. So they'll be done completely shooting very soon. That's very exciting news. When that day comes, I'll make sure to be here to talk about it, because I am, after all, gonna be caught up, so no more slacking for me. Credit for this information goes towards an interview with Damon, Leone, and Lauren the Vera in GalaxyCon, because they said in that interview that they literally have a couple more scenes left that they have to do, as well as Killjoy Jake, because he did, after all, bring it up in his video. And then, not to mention, he even said that there will be some other big news coming, apparently, coming from the assistant director. I'll talk a little bit more about Killjoy Jake later though, because I do mention him again in this video. So if you guys didn't know, Terrifier 2 is supposed to come out in October. That unfortunately isn't happening. And there's actually a post from the official Terrifier 2 Facebook page that I'll be reading here for you guys. The post reads, "I want to give everyone an update regarding Terrifier 2's release, since we understandably get bombarded with the question, when's it coming out? Our initial goal was to have it out this month, but like every other production, COVID set us back big time. We are finally heading into our final stretch of filming currently, and our new goal is to have the film completed by early 2021. However, that does not mean we will have distribution secured. That will be the next step upon completion. As you know, Terrifier 2 is a completely independent film funded through Indiegogo and a handful of private investors. We did not have a studio or distribution company backing us, so this is truly a grassroots campaign on every level. Believe me, we are as anxious and excited to release this film as you are to see it. But the last thing we want to do is rush it. The cast and crew has put an unfathomable amount of time and energy into this film, and we're trying to exceed expectations on every level. All I can say is it will be worth the wait. And then it goes on to say the next big update will be when we wrap principal photography. Again, we'll keep you posted every single step of the way. And then they go on to say that there are a ton of fake Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2 Facebook pages and Instagram accounts spreading all sorts of false information. So I'm gonna make sure to leave a link to the official pages down in the description below. I don't want any of you guys to get misled, so definitely follow them on Instagram through the link that I give down below, and then also follow their Facebook page that I'm also gonna link. The next update actually has to do with Leone the Vera. So I'm gonna go ahead and read on the Terrifier 2 official Instagram. Here's what they have to say about Leone the Vera. That's officially a wrap on our Terrifier 2 leading lady, Leone the Vera. Where to begin? We started this ambitious and arduous journey a year ago, and I cannot begin to express how remarkably talented and dedicated this young woman has been throughout. Never have I had an actor or actress care so much for a character that I've written, and you will undoubtedly see all of that love and hard work on the screen. It has honestly been the greatest pleasure watching her collaborate with our cast and crew while simultaneously bringing the character of Sienna to life. We are also unbelievably proud of her, and I know she is going to change the Final Girl game. I seriously cannot wait for all of you to see her in action. Thank you for everything, Leone. So big congrats to Leone for finishing filming on Terrifier 2. That's such huge and amazing news. So congrats to her. By the time I'm releasing this video, this might already be out, but there's actually an article posted to a website that talks about a Terrifier graphic novel coming this October. And then it shows like a couple pictures and stuff of what it's gonna look like. It's pretty much just the first film, but in graphic novel form. It's pretty neat. If there are actually places you can buy the graphic novel, I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description below. The next bit of news actually has to do with the Art the Clown figure coming out from Trick or Treat Studios. And you know something? I actually have an image of it. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, but as soon as I saw this on Damon Leone's Instagram story, I screenshotted it right away. I'm like, I have to show this. Pretty much captioned on this story, he's saying that the figure's coming soon and the release date is to be announced. And then here is the badass motherfucker as we speak. That thing looks fantastic. Man, I just love it, the detail that they put into it. Just the cloth on the figure, his face, his hat, just every little bit of him. That detail is just amazing. For those of you guys who weren't able to get a Funko figure from Damon Leone, because for those of you guys who didn't know, he used to actually make Funko figures, custom Funko figures of Art the Clown. But those of you guys who weren't ever able to get one, I'm not sure if he still sells them or not, but you guys will have an opportunity to get one of these, and I'm so excited to get one. I'm happy that Art the Clown's getting all this love and he's getting all this merchandise. It's just overall very exciting for the character and everyone involved in these films. I cannot wait to add this motherfucker to my collection, along with my Quay Art the Clown. But I figure now that we're done talking about all that, before we get to even more news, I feel like we need to talk about some behind the scene images that I have uncovered. First, we got a picture of what looks like Art the Clown trick-or-treating. You can't see his face or anything, but you see a girl just sitting there looking a bit uneasy. as Art the Clown's reaching out. It looks like he has this iconic plastic garbage bag and he's trying to get her to, I guess, put the candy in there. The next picture is just of a popcorn box and it's all bloodied, and so is the popcorn. And my guess is that some mayhem goes down here and it just ends in complete bloodshed. The next image looks to take place in a school, and I'm assuming that these are just like scenes of Sienna at school. So we're gonna get to see some of Sienna's school life before the mayhem begins. And I don't mind a little bit of character development. I'm really excited to see what exactly we learn from these scenes about Sienna and all of her friends. The next image really excites me because, as you can see, that's the guy from the end of Terrifier 1. If you guys did not know, he actually makes his return to get murdered by Art the Clown. And here's a picture demonstrating that. Like, you don't get to actually see any gore or anything, but you could tell it's him, and you can see a little bit of blood on him too. So this further confirms that that guy will definitely be in Terrifier 2, and we will get to see what exactly happens to him at the very end. This next image, it looks like Damon Leone's looking at the screen, but we can see Eric Fulham sitting there, and I think that's Art the Clown right there. You can see like some hands in the background. But I believe this is around the time that breaks into Eric Fulham's character, Jonathan, running away from Art the Clown. This next thing's kind of old, but I really want to bring it up. This Instagram story post is captioned, "When you can't get a damn water gun, clown head, sculpt your own." So it's looking like Art the Clown will have his own clown head squirt gun. I think it'd be really cool if that thing was like filled up with acid or something and he squirted it at someone's face and it just melted their face away. That would be cool. But overall, I'm really excited that they're gonna have that in here. That's so wild. I mean, it is sad that it's not actually sculpted after Art the Clown, and some might say that, you know, and maybe it's not even supposed to be in the movie. And I feel like it's definitely in there because, I mean, why else would we be making that? The next image has cast and crew like Damon Leone and Lauren Vera standing in front of what looks like a dungeon of hell. That strongly makes me think of something that we're gonna bring up later in the video. And when that time comes, I will indeed bring it up. But wherever they are, that looks awesome. This next picture is a bit old, but I feel like I need to talk about it. Look at this. What the fuck happened to him? I don't even know where to begin. Like, there's something wrong with his teeth. Like, his nose. Like, his skin is missing. There's tubes that are most likely meant to have blood running through them, I'm imagining. But whatever that is looking to be a very gruesome kill. My god, like, what happened to his teeth? The next image shows Lauren Vera in full costume as Sienna. And she's all bloodied up, and you can see Eric Fulham in the bottom right corner. I wonder if some of that's her blood, or if it's like a mix of her blood and someone else's blood. Like, that really makes me think, seeing her bloodied up like that. The next image is an Instagram story post, and it's by Damon Leone. He says, "Recognize this beautiful lady," and you guys already know, it's Victoria from Terrifier 1. So it makes me wonder, are we gonna get to see more of Victoria running around causing mayhem to people on Halloween? Or are we gonna get an exact reason why she attacked her interviewer? Seeing that she's returning in Terrifier 2, it makes me wonder what they're gonna do with her character. And there's also a few alternative images of the mold of Victoria's face. Just look at that. You can see the actress actually getting into the makeup, and you see it's like none of it's detailed or painted or anything. And then there's an alternate shot of what the mold looks like, which is pretty awesome. And then this, I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if that's a part of a kill or something. I just thought that I'd show it because since we're already on the topic of molds, I just happened to find this on their Instagram. They posted it with no context. I'm not sure if this is a part of a kill, like a decapitation or something, or
what, but I found it interesting and I just had to include it.
The next image shows Damon Leone prepping Art the Clown up, a bloodied up, kind of not very happy looking Art the Clown. Looks like he's prepping him up for a scene. This next one has some relevance to what I'm going to be talking about later. Damon Leone captions this one, "Check out the terrifying Fright Factory in Philly this Halloween season." And it even says Terrifier 2 filming location. And the pictures of Art the Clown holding up a sign, and it says, "Want a good scare, Philly? Come to the Fright Factory." I really wish I could go, but with this crap going on, and plus I don't have no money. But if I could go, I would go. The next image shows Sienna and her mother in the kitchen. We see a little bit of this scene in the Terrifier 2 teaser trailer. I cannot be more happier that they are going to be including some character development in with these characters to make us care more about them. I think that's very important to films in general. The slasher films is mostly just about people getting cut up and stuff, but I like that Terrifier 2 is trying to give us more insight on these characters. I really love that. Next image, we get to see some lights behind Sienna, and she looks a bit distressed. You just see her looking off to the side, like she sees something of notice. Next, here's another picture of Lauren the Vera covered in blood. You see Art the Clown covered in blood with Q-tips of his nose. Eric Fulham is decked out in what looks to be a very comfortable jacket, just looking off to Art the Clown, probably wondering why there's Q-tips in his nose. This next image is actually something that I think was pointed out to me by someone, but it's literally the logo of Immortal Masks. It was actually spotted on the set of Terrifier 2. So does that mean that there's like a collaboration between Immortal Masks and Terrifier 2? Maybe some of the masks appear and say like the Halloween store scene that's gonna be in Terrifier 2, I think. Before we get into the juicy information, here's a behind the scenes picture of a room. There's like a red light in there or something to make it look like what I'm assuming is like complete hell on earth. It looks really scary in that room, that red tint, and you see like everyone just chilling in that room with that skeleton with glasses. That makes me think of something that we're going to be talking about here very soon. What are we about to talk about, you might ask? We're going to talk about a couple of interviews. Let me just real quick shout out Eric Fulham. He is the kid that plays Jonathan on Terrifier 2. He did an interview with Damon Leone. And at one point, I think I already covered it, but he even did an interview with Lauren the Vera. I gotta say, this kid really knows how to do interviews. I always enjoy watching him do interviews, but he does an interview with Damon Leone and Kaylee Hyman, who is also featured in Terrifier 2, does an interview with Lauren, and I'll be talking about that right after I talk about Damon Leone's interview. And also shout out to Kaylee Hyman's interview with Lauren. Overall, listening to them talk about Terrifier 2 and stuff is a lot of fun, and I'd recommend watching both interviews. I'll leave links on the description below. But with that said, let's break down this Damon Leone interview. So Damon Leone states the Fright Factory is going to be the climax of the movie. Sienna will also really go through it, as Damon Leone tells a story of how the actress who plays Sienna is at stage 10 of being brutalized. So she'll be going through a lot, confirmed. Damien actually tells a pretty touching story about the filming process of Terrifier 2, and I'd 100% recommend watching this interview with Damon Leone on Little Punk People. Again, the link will be in the bio. Watching these interviews really make me love the people who are making these films, and overall, it makes me a proud fan of Terrifier. So definitely watching this interview is worth it. He also states the supernatural entity that brings Art the Clown back is played by an actor, and he's nowhere to be seen in the trailer, but he is virtually in the entire film. Elliot Fulham acted with the supernatural entity more than anyone else. Elliot Fulham is passionate that everyone will love those scenes with him and the paranormal entity. He even goes as far to state that the paranormal entity is acted very well and everyone will be blown away by him. And another point, Damon Leone's vision of hell might be in Terrifier 2. A YouTuber by the name of Killjoy Jake, who also does Terrifier 2 news, thinks that the film might have its climax in hell, due to a set photo of Elliot standing in front of a wall that says hell, as well as cracked ground in the factory where the climax will take place. Go check out that dude, by the way, Killjoy Jake. Go check him out. He makes really good content. I'd recommend him. But that's all that I picked out of that interview. I want to talk about some things that I newly discovered in the teaser trailer of Terrifier 2. Yeah, that's right. I discovered even more stuff. Not a lot of stuff, but more stuff. At the part where the girl in the sexy pirate outfit is running, that is actually the character Brooke, as confirmed in the interview with Lauren by Kaylee Hyman. Yes, I got it right. Fuck you. In the scene where Jonathan is running from Art the Clown and tries to close the door on him, if you look at Art's lower body, he is wearing a colorful apron. Art the Clown has some weird thing with dressing up. Upon further inspection, that Art the Clown painting actually has a blonde kid on it. Not an adult. I thought that was an adult originally. But the painting also has a kid with brown hair and blue pants that I actually missed due to the movements of the character in frame of that scene. So I'm thinking that Art the Clown was some children's icon before the events of Terrifier. And I'm thinking at one point he prioritized entertaining children. Behind Art the Clown, when he uses the flamethrower, you can see yet another painting. It looks like a bunch of children are holding hands and dancing, like a ring around the rosies kind of thing, which may fit into what I was saying a second ago. Before we go, let's read some of these theories. We got some pretty interesting theories. First, I want to show off this cool little edit of a 4K Ultra HD case for Terrifier 2, if one is ever made. You see that the fog is edited a bit weird, but I mean, I still think it's neat for what it is. Big shout out to Quartettos for making this. Kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of what this kind of thing would look like. But to move on from that, Quartettos actually sent me a theory that I could read for Terrifier 2. Here's what it says. As you can see on his left eye, his eye kind of looks a bit off to the other one. What I think he's going to do is he's going to get someone else's eye and put it in his own socket. That would be awesome, actually. His eye looks fine here, so maybe a chunk of the film is before the first film, and he was a television host on a kids show and killed a bunch of kids, kind of like the Banana Splits. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I feel like he could have most likely been like a children's icon around that area, or maybe even on TV, who knows, but it's pretty fun to think about, like, if Art the Clown, before all this stuff went on, like, was a children's icon of some kind. Whether it was a popular or local icon, it's still cool to think about. And then he says that in the scene that I pointed out with the gun wound in the back of his head, maybe that's the scene where he swaps out his eyes. Someone pointed out in the teaser that they think that the bodies are clowns because of their outfits, which I could see that. Someone by the name of Lie.exe said, I would honestly wager money that in the scene it would make sense considering he's painted on the wall. It could even be his lair now that I've thought about it. Maybe it is his lair. That would be pretty cool to think about. This person also went on to say, Damien mentions Terrifier 2 is going to dive into Art the Clown's backstory. I think the Clown Cafe part of the trailer might be that. That's what I was thinking too. We're on the same page. I think through the Clown Cafe we're definitely going to find out more about Art the Clown, who he is, and possibly why he does what he does. Maybe not, but just to like learn more about him, whether it's subtle or just completely out there in the film. If you guys have any more theories, let me know. I'll make sure to include them in the next Terrifier video. But that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and definitely subscribe to Become a Slasher. All social media links and my merch description below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. on Terrifier 2. I'll try my best to stay more on top of Terrifier 2 news. I've been really bad at keeping up, but I'm gonna try my best to do better. But I'm out of here. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, guys, to keep on swashing.